Hi, this is Nina Blumberg reporting for the Lobby Observer. On March 27th, Westboro High School hosted local author and WHS alumni Dr. Peter Daniel Cook. Dr. Cook graduated WHS and went on to join the Marine Corps shortly after. Following the Marine Corps, Dr. Cook became a high school economics teacher based in Los Angeles. His time as a teacher and in the Marine Corps inspired him to write his military comedy novel, Bootleg Heroes. Let's head down to reporters Arianna, Ben, and Brian, who got the chance to speak with Dr. Cook following the assembly.
Hi, my name is Arianna Ahmed, and I'm reporting for the Lobby Observer. I'm here with author Peter Daniel Cook, here to talk more about his book, Bootleg Heroes. So we just had an assembly discussing, some of the common themes of your book, and we're just going to ask you a couple questions about that.
It was a great assembly. You got a nice group here, so I'm excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your experiences in places like Ecuador, Spain, and Haiti expose you to different cultures. How did those experiences shape the way you think about storytelling or sharing real-life experiences through writing?
Well, that's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind, oddly, even though the book takes place in Ecuador, is what life was like in Haiti. And I feel like people get used to anything. And if you can tell the human truth and capture authentic human behavior, you're on the right track. And I'll give you an example. And it's vulgar in a sense, on a human level, but when we would arrive in Haiti, the new Marines, this is the poorest country in the hemisphere, And when there were torrential rains, often bodies would be washed down from the mountains. And when you get there, when we got there first, some of the Marines would get sick, because it's really sort of alarming and awful. And then the Marines who'd been there a while, they would chuckle about it because you're a new guy, and weak stomach or whatever. And over time, you would adjust your behavior that went from shock to assimilation. And you would just think, it's the way it is, So I found that as a writer, a lot of human truths are not that pleasant. And like sitcom stuff, it doesn't really work that way. So there's a lot of humor and a lot of pain in the human experience. So I feel like being able to write without resolutions that are pat is a good way to try to, again, capture authentic human behavior. That's what artists are on the planet for, is to try to represent how it works.
How did your time in the Marine Corps lead you to be like the person and the teacher you are today?
Oh, that's so great. Well, I'll tell you, I don't teach in a particularly privileged area. And so for me, I sometimes wonder how teachers can be successful if they weren't in the Marine Corps, because any behavior that one doesn't address, if it's inappropriate behavior, you're accepting it, That's going to happen, and you let it go, it's going to happen all the time. And so if you don't hit a home run on the first day, you've lost a semester. And that's not unique to particular relations. I think that's true for educators. But we learned that in spades in the Marine Corps, that if you're in charge of this thing, whatever this thing is, you got to come prepared. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to be ready. So, in the Marines, we do what we have to do, so we can do what we want to do. And so if you have a job in front of you, you have to come through the door absolutely prepared. And I'm not there to be anybody's friend, nor am I there to meet them on this level. I'm there to meet them like this and say, this is where we're at. Will it help you to be more efficient if you do this better? And if so, let's do it better, because literacy, as we know, is better for our families, better for ourselves. So I think that it's the key for all this is, in the Marine Corps, you're saddled with a mission, and in my experience in the Marine Corps, you believe in the mission, which is to protect and defend the Constitution. And I believe in the second mission, which is to promote literacy, because it's better for the country. And so I believe in the mission, and I learned sort of mission orientation in the Marines.
You've said you're selling literacy, not just books. What does that idea mean to you, especially when reaching younger audiences?
Well, the great thing about reading is it's a menu that has to satisfy our appetites. So if a military comedy is of no interest to someone, read about Bobby Orr, read about whatever it is. And you'll get the same level of functioning in your brain. And if we can meet the books that we love, whatever they be, then we can fall into the habits of really enjoying what we're doing. A lot of times we'll be assigned this in school or that in school, and it's just not the thing we're digging. And that's okay, but it's often confused that, oh, I hate reading. Well, you might hate what you're reading, but have you given yourself an opportunity to read something that might interest you? And when people find that book, and it doesn't have to be all super dramatic, dun dun dun, that specific book, but when they find things that they're reacting to and like, oh, that's making me laugh, or that's this, then and start to see the joy of reading and get more efficient, so it's not just a chore. It can open worlds for us. So again, the book Bootleg Heroes is a plank in the literacy platform that essentially opens the doors so you can have these conversations on a more expansive level, I guess you could say. Or films, once it becomes a film, then you have an opportunity to reach other audiences. But for me, the main thing is to get the country reading, because I just want us to be thoughtful. I don't need to be right. I just want to know what you think. And if we can express that to each other, we can express disharmony with a lot more civility. And so that's what the mission is about. It's a great question.
Yeah, that's
Rona.
awesome. All right. Well, thank you for spending time with us
Hell
today.
yeah.
I know I had a blast. Please go check out where books are sold. Go find Bootleg Heroes. Great read. I know I'm looking forward to reading it. Any last words before you sign off today?
It's essential to say, go Rangers.
Yeah,
go Rangers.
I agree.
That's how
Go
you-
Rangers.
Go
Yeah.
Rangers. Go
Thank you so
Rangers. Go Rangers. Nice. Thank you all. It's great.
Thank you, Dr. Cook, for the chance to discuss the importance of literacy, and be sure to check out his book, Bootleg Heroes, which can be found at any local bookstore. This has been Nina Blumberg reporting for the Lobby Observer from Studio 33 at Westboro TV.